What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Red Crimson 102 back again. Hey, you guys already know what's up with the eShop being closed on the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. I did a part 1 video and now I'm doing a part 2. So this time I'm gonna show y'all some more games. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys my collection, my personal collection of my 3DS games that you might want to consider getting digitally or physically or even both before the Nintendo closes the eShop for good. Start out by showing you these 2 games, but I do got more games to show you guys. So before Nintendo shuts down the eShop on the 3DS, I'm gonna show you my full collection of all my 3DS games, and you might come across a few games in my library that you may consider getting before Nintendo shuts down the good old eShop. Now let's get into it. Alright guys, Red Crimson 102 back again in my native Jamaican accent. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the games that I have now in my library that you guys should check out and get before Nintendo shut down the eShop. Okay, I showed you WarioWare Gold already, Super Mario 3D Land, Ultimate Nintendo Remix, New Super Mario Brothers. Every Nintendo person that owns a Nintendo DS should have this game. Alright. Now, Castlevania, Lord of Shadows, Mirrors of Fate. Everybody already know that see my last video that I'm a huge Castlevania fan. This game is actually really good. Don't pay attention to the reviews. This game is a great game. It was so good they actually remade the game for the consoles, Xbox, PS3, Xbox 360 and the PS3. Everybody should have this game in their collection, and actually the game really looks good in 3D. Another game that needs no introduction, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. I think this game it's a remake of A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo or a continuation. Anyway, either way it confused me. I don't know which one it is, but I would just call it a remake. This game is really good, and if you watched my last video about the Nintendo eShop closing down, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is my favorite game. This is a continuation of it or a remake of it, but either way, this game is good, and I advise you guys to get this game. Fun fact, the game is so good, I bought it twice. This one is sealed, so it should be worth a little bit of money, even though it's the Nintendo Selects version, but hey, it is what it is. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. This game has a lot of fans. A lot of people think this game, actually some people think this game is better than Ocarina of Time, but a lot of people say that Ocarina of Time is still a better game, and I can see why. I can't really tell you why. I can't really say if this game is actually better than Ocarina of Time, because I've actually never played this game. But to be fair, I played this game for about maybe a good 5-10 minutes. But just by looking at it, I can tell that this game is not better than Ocarina of Time. Besides, you play as a small Link versus playing as a big Link. But anyway, it's Zelda. Everybody knows that Zelda is a good game, and it is what it is. I'll check it out one day. You guys already know I'm a big Zelda fan. Like I said again, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D Nintendo Selects version. And keep in mind, guys, every game that I'm showing you right now is my personal library. And every game I'm showing you is games that everybody that loves Nintendo and the 3DS should have in their personal possession. Resident Evil Revelations. This was a great game for the Nintendo 3DS. This game was custom made for the Nintendo 3DS to show the hardware of the system and what the system is capable of. Several years later, excuse me guys, I can't even talk right now. Several years later, what may I try to say is, this game has been ported to every console, but the 3DS version remains the best version for the simple fact this game was tailor-made for the Nintendo 3DS to show off what the 3D can do. And remember these, the manuals, we don't get them anymore. We don't get manuals anymore, so. But the 3DS version of Resident Evil Revelations is the best version of the game. The 3D really pops on this game. I wish Capcom would make a Resident Evil Revelations 3 for the Switch. Mario Kart 7. Another game that needs no introduction. This game is sealed because I have the digital version already. Mega Man ZX. I'm a big fan of Mega Man. This game right here shows my age. Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. Comes with a manual. These new age kids don't know about the manuals. Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentina Echoes. I heard this is a remake of the original, the first Fire Emblem game. I guess that was on Nintendo. And you guys can feel free to correct me in the comment section, because I'm not even sure myself. But sorry about that. Fire Emblem is a game that needs no introduction. And Echoes has voiceovers, so that's welcome. You know, Nintendo's not big on voiceovers. Fire Emblem Awakening. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I think Awakening was the remake of the first Fire Emblem game. I don't remember. But in the comment section, feel free to correct me. Fire Emblem was always a good game. I got into the Fire Emblem series really late. And I think Birthright was the first Fire Emblem game I played. And that game really got me into Fire Emblem just off the storyline alone. And the gameplay is pretty good. So I went back before the whole Fire Emblem craze, and I bought the whole series before the prices skyrocketed. As you can see, all these games are sealed for now, at least, because I'm eventually gonna play them. Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. Forgive me, guys, for stuttering. I've been drinking, so you know how that is. My judgment and my speech is off. This is the first Fire Emblem game I've ever played. And when I played Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, that's when I knew the series was a great series. The Fire Emblem series have a great storyline. The storyline is really is what gonna draw you into the game. The storyline really is what gonna make you love the game. And not to mention the gameplay. As you can see, the cartridge is not in there. That means I was playing a game. This game is very good. Fire Emblem Fates and Conquest. I told you guys I became a Fire Emblem fan overnight. Even though I knew about the series from a long time ago. The series didn't get really popular until the Fire Emblem 3 Houses on the Nintendo Switch. But the Fire Emblem series is great. All of them, even the ones on the Game Boy. Alright, moving on. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. This game is also available on PSP, but it came out first on the Nintendo DS back in the days. Around 2009, 2010. This game is actually really good. And hey, it comes with a manual and it comes with a poster, which I'm not gonna open up right now, by the way. This game is actually really good. It's a top-down game. Star Fox 3D 64. I'm a big Star Fox fan. The first Star Fox game I played was on Nintendo 64, and that version is great. And I also need to buy the cartridge version for my Nintendo 64. I seen it at the store for $30-something, and I'll be going to the store to pick it up. I think this is the best version of Star Fox 64. It's sealed because I have the game digitally already. Mega Man Collection. I've been a huge fan of Mega Man since the 90s. The first Mega Man game I played was Mega Man 2, which was one of the best old school Nintendo Mega Man games. Wow, the cartridge is upside down. I don't even know how that happened. But Mega Man Legacy Collection, that's another game to check out. Bravely Default by Square Enix, Nintendo's old company. This game is actually really good. I played the demo. I liked the demo, so I bought the real game. Also, this game has an excellent soundtrack. The soundtrack is phenomenal in this game for the first one and the second one. I wish the actual game looked like this while you're playing it. Either way, the game is still good. Moving on. Bravely Second End Layer. This game is sealed. Should be worth some money. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Everybody remembers the Luigi's game from the Nintendo GameCube. That's where it all started. I never really played that game, but I played it for a little bit. I don't know if the GameCube version is better or this one is better, but I'll go ahead and assume that this one is a lot better. I really enjoy this game. This game is really good. And I also have the third game on the Nintendo Switch. Kid Icarus Uprising for the Nintendo 3DS. I became a Kid Icarus fan when I played this game. I always knew about Kid Icarus on the original Nintendo, but never got a chance to play it. But I finally did. I downloaded the 3D version for the Nintendo 3DS. The 3DS has the 3D version of the old school Nintendo version, which everybody should check out. I bought that game. It's good. I played it on there and I finished it. Very good game. Kid Icarus Uprising is a good game as well. And the original version came with a peripheral where it has a second analog you can attach to your Nintendo 3DS. Never opened it. And it comes with a manual. I have to respect that. Yeah, I have to respect that. The manual is like a damn poster. This is a good game. The funny thing about this, you know, my girlfriend, she watched me play this game and she was cracking up over Pit's voice, the way how he sound. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I guess to her, I guess to her, he had a cute voice. But this is a good game, but your hands will get cramped playing this game. You actually need a second analog peripheral to play this game. But good game nonetheless. Nintendo, please make a Kid Icarus for the Nintendo Switch. Magical Star Sign. I remember this game back in the days when it first launched, around when the Nintendo DS initial launch. So this game launched around, it was one of the first games for the Nintendo DS. What was cool about this game, even though it's a RPG, turn-based RPG, which I love, which are the best RPG games, by the way, I'm not caring nobody say. What I love about this game is how both DS screens, the cutscenes would take up both screens. I thought that was awesome. I got lucky one day and found this game, I think either a pawn shop, it might have been GameStop. It's a game I always wanted to play, but never got a chance to play. Look at this beautiful color manual. Something nowadays they don't do anymore. They rather trade the cartridge in, the case, the manual in for online only. I hate online only games. How Microsoft is trying to turn video games into a service. That's not where it's at. Cartridges and manuals still rule. Okay, moving on. Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 3DS. Excuse me guys, I'm kind of drunk right now doing this video. I can barely speak. I can barely speak when I'm sober. But anyway, this game needs no introduction. A fan favorite. This game is it's decent. It's alright. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS. What can I say? It's a good game. Smash Brothers on the 3DS is actually good, and everybody that owns a 3DS, I believe, should have this game. All right, we're getting down to the wire here. Alliance Alive. Somebody in my comment section in my last eShop shutdown video mentioned this game on the 3DS. The 3DS is the best hardware to play this game on. I guess, I mean, it started out on the 3DS, and the 3D really pops in this game. I downloaded the demo for the 3DS, and this game was awesome. I loved it. And that's why I went out and actually bought the physical copy. As you can see, I'm holding in my hand. This is a launch edition, which includes the art book, CD soundtrack, and a Robin's keychain. That's what the back look like. I have this game for the Nintendo Switch as well, digitally, and there's also a physical version for the Nintendo Switch, which I would love to get my hands on. But every time I see it, you know, I mean, the price is decent on it, but you know, $50-$60 for an old game is I can take that $50-$60 and buy a current game I like to see. So basically, I mean, I already have this game twice on the 3DS. Actually, twice on the 3DS and on the Switch. So the physical version, which I would love to have on the Switch, I might have to wait. But I don't want to wait too long because, you know, prices hike upon good games. Now, Radiant Historia. This is actually an old game. This is actually on the I believe it was originally on the DS, and they remade it for the 3DS, which is funny because on the 3DS it isn't in 3D. That's the funny part. So I don't even know why they even did that. But this is a launch edition, which includes an art book, decal sheet, in the game while supplies last. Wow. This game is basically about like this guy, the main protagonist. You know, he was given a book, and you know, whatever he writes in the book, he can go back in time. Oh, it's kind of crazy. Hold up, y'all. Alright, guys. I'm pretty much down to the wire right now. Hope y'all guys love my Jamaican accent so far. A little bit kind of drunk right now, so excuse my slurred, you know, speech. Well, we're gonna go out like this with you guys looking at me talk about the Nintendo 3DS games. Now, this game is 7th Dragon Code 3. 7th Dragon Code 3. This game actually, I first found out about it on the PS Vita. That's where I first played it. Can't really judge on the PS Vita, but from what I played, it was cool. It was first person, I believe, when it comes to, you know, the battle system. On the 3DS, however, actually I played a demo. That's what made me get the game. But I played on the Vita first, and then I played a demo on the 3DS. The demo on the 3DS was actually cool. It was a really good game. The story started off really good, so I had to pick this game up. And as you can see, it's a launch edition, and it comes with goodies. It comes with an art book and all that good stuff. And get a good look at the back. Now, the game that needs no introduction. The game which is the reason why they made Metroid Dread for the Nintendo Switch. Before Metroid Dread, guys, we actually got Metroid Samus Returns, which is a remake of Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. I don't know how people felt about that game on the Game Boy, but honestly, I actually liked Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. It was really good. I liked it. I still remember the commercial they showed in the 90s. And I actually think Metroid 2 on the Game Boy is better than Metroid on the NES. And hey, feel free to tap me in the comments if you think I'm tripping on that. And maybe I am. But the one on Nintendo, which nothing is wrong with it, didn't really appeal to me. It was cool when I played it. But what really grabbed me was Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. I guess maybe because I liked how it looked. They designed Samus a lot better on the Game Boy version than they did on the Nintendo version. The Metroid 2 on Game Boy, how to design Samus had more details in the suit versus the NES version, which just had a big head, a big red helmet, and the rest of her body is just a yellow color. It's crazy. Her body looks like a yellow spandex suit with a big red helmet on a Nintendo. This game also comes with a sample soundtrack. Matter of fact, let me open this for you guys. Hopefully it's not a hassle. That's a badass soundtrack case. The artwork is a flip back, meaning you can actually take out the background. Hold on. That's the original cover, but I like the Game Boy color better. It's different. That's not what a new school generation is used to. So I thought showing the Game Boy version was a lot cooler. And last but not least, actually, this is the last game. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm lying. I actually do have more games to show. This is Senran Kagura. Senran Kagura Deep Crimson. Includes a soundtrack as well. You know, a lot of people are fan of the Senran Kagura games only because of the jiggling titties. You know, those guys out there who don't get any pussy, don't have a girlfriend, that find video game girls attractive, like games like these. As you can see, it's sealed up. And I like the cover. That's how I did the cover, because it's it's just like the Metroid game. You can flip around the artwork. There you go. Get a good look at that. Get a good look at that. Now, you tell me, which artwork would you really use to display your game? Alright. Got some more games to show you guys. Just hold up. Okay, here we go. Red Crimson 102 back again with the Nintendo DS and 3DS games. I'm drunk, so bear with me. Alright, you guys seen my physical collection, my box physical collection for the DS and the 3DS. Now I'm going to show you my loose cartridge collection. And again, guys, I'm beating a dead horse here again. The Nintendo eShop is closing. It's shutting down soon. I believe they said in 2023. And once March gets here, it's going to be a little bit tricky to download the games from the eShop. I think you have to use a dedicated Nintendo eShop card for the 3DS, or just a dedicated Nintendo eShop card, period. You won't be able to use your credit card. If you want to use your credit card, you have to put the money on it now, future-proofing your purchase. I mean, that makes sense anyway. But I guess if there's some 3DS games and some Nintendo Wii U games that you want, you should just go ahead and just drop $100 on, I guess, either one. That is if you have the Wii U and the 3DS account tied together. I think I have the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS account tied together. Anyway, here goes. So we have Metroid Pinball. This game is awesome. Back in the days when this game first released, I purchased it, and I don't care if you don't like pinball, guys. You will actually like Metroid Prime Pinball. It's pinball with a Metroid Prime spin to it. It's actually really good. Trust me on that. Okay, we have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D. Here's another interesting game that I didn't even know about. I was watching on YouTube one day the top best 3DS games. Excuse me, the top best DS games, and this game came up. Hotel Dusk Room 215. Check that game out. Zelda Phantom Hourglass. This game uses all touchscreen, no buttons. I actually like this game. Never finished it though. You know what? Actually, it was kind of kiddie. Wind Waker was too kiddie for me on the GameCube, and I think that's why it never sold. It never sold, even though that game, a lot of people love that game, it never sold well. And I think that's like one of the worst Zelda games, at least in my opinion, in my book. How they made Link look like a Disney character with short legs. That was a no-go. That was the worst art style they could ever use. But Phantom Hourglass was modeled after Wind Waker, but I actually like it better than Wind Waker. Call me weird. I need to finish it, by the way. Trauma Center Under the Knife. You play as a doctor. You use the touch screen, the stylus to, you know, it's kind of like the game Operation. You guys remember that board game Operation? For those of you guys that are old school like myself, I remember that board game Operation. This is basically Operation on the Nintendo 3DS with the storyline. Great game. They also have it on the Wii as well. Moving on here. Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D. I wasn't too fond of this game because it didn't have a storyline. It's just a dedicated mercenaries minigame that started, I believe, on Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. But you know what? It's actually fun. It's actually really, really good game. It surprised me. Dead or Alive Dimensions. I wish I had a case for this game, but I don't. All these loose games you see me showing you right now are basically games that I accumulated over the years at GameStop. And there's also, if you go on Etsy, for those of you guys that have loose cartridges, you can go on this website called Etsy. I know you guys are familiar with Etsy, but for those of you that don't, Etsy is kind of like eBay a little bit. But if you go on Etsy, you can actually get cases for Switch games, 3DS games, and Nintendo DS games for your loose cartridges, custom made, and they look official. I bought several of them and they look official. So any of you guys that have loose cartridges and wish you had the case for them, go on Etsy and you can get cartridges for, you can get the cases. You can get the case for any game that you have that don't have a case. I'm a big fan of Dead or Alive, and the 3DS version was actually pretty good. Brain Age. Train your brain in minutes a day. Everybody's familiar with this game. This game is actually dope. I got my girlfriend to play this game. Now, if you got a girlfriend or somebody in the family that don't play games, that play this game and like this game, that's crazy. This game will get people who don't play video games into playing video games. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. You guys already know from my last video, I'm one of the biggest Castlevania fans. This is not my favorite Castlevania game, and it was okay, but hey, you know, I got to support him by the game. It was decent. He plays a chick in that game. Contra 4, for all my old school fans that's familiar with Contra. This game was pretty decent. Actually, it's good. They give you a grappling hook and you utilize both screens. Both screens are meshed into one screen, which was actually pretty dope. And this game was really hard. I never finished it, but it's good, and everybody should, you know, get this game if you are a fan of Contra. Side scroller 2D shooter. Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Never played never played the DS version, but I love the GBA version. Those games are great and need no introduction, and I still play it to this day. And here's hoping that Nintendo brings back Golden Sun for the Nintendo Switch. That'd be dope. I heard this game wasn't all that great. It wasn't as good as the GBA version, and it had way too much talking. But I guess one day I'll see. Never played it, but I'll take their word for it for now. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. Come on now, guys. The eShop is closing, but you do not need to get this game. This game is not a great game. unless you're a big fan of Super Monkey Ball. And I know some people, well, actually I know one person that does, a friend of mine, she's a female, she actually loved this game. I know it came out on the GameCube back in the days, but this game is too childish. A game like this, I'd rather just let my daughter play. I actually would never play this game. And the reason why I have it, in case any of you guys are asking, believe it or not, I actually found this game outside, and you can take that for however you want to take it. Maybe this game was so trash that one of the kids just tossed it, and that's why I found it on the curb. But it's a free game, so I'll take a free game. Shinobi, the straight up Shinobi for the 3DS. You know what? Everybody know Shinobi from Sega. Shinobi 3 was really dope, one of my favorite Sega games back in the days. Now this game is actually pretty good on the 3DS, but I got to a part where the game just started to get too ridiculous, and I was like, okay, the game started out good, now they ruined it by making the later levels retarded. Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, get it? Ninja Gaiden DS, Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword. That was a nice, hell of a ring Tecmo came up with. Ninja Gaiden DS, Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, tailor-made for the Nintendo DS. Wow, very clever, Tecmo. Anyway, you guys probably saying to yourself, a technical game, high fidelity graphical game like Ninja Gaiden on the 3DS? How? Well, they did do it, and not surprising, but this game is actually really good, guys. You use a touch screen to play, you don't even use the buttons, which was dope, and they made it work. Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword. This game was awesome. Pick this game up. You ever played a bad Ninja Gaiden game? Well, maybe on the Game Gear. Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition. I actually got this game. I picked this game up at the launch of the Nintendo 3DS back in the days. This was like the first game I actually bought for the launch of the 3DS. And hey, plays good, looks good in 3D. Only thing I didn't like, the backgrounds look fake as hell, but 3D models was really good in this game. They announced Street Fighter 6. Here's hoping that Capcom launches Street Fighter 6 on the Nintendo Switch. I don't want to get Street Fighter 6 2-3 years later down the road for the Nintendo Switch. No, Capcom, release it the same day as the console versions. Now, I don't know if it's going to be exclusive for the PS5 like they did with the PS4, which is a bad idea, by the way, because the game never sold for shit when they made it exclusive to the PS4. Mega Man ZX Advent. I'm a Mega Man fan. You guys already know what's up. And the last game, Cave Story 3D. I was hunting this game down for years. I remember going into a Walmart where the 3DS was a thing when it first launched, and they had this game, and the cover was dope on it. I was like, Cave Story, I don't know what that is. And I let the game slip by, and I never saw the game ever again. And I've been hunting it down, like I said, couldn't find it. One day, I walked into a GameStop, and they actually had a cartridge just sitting right there, but no case. That was a catch. So, matter of fact, now that I'm doing this video and I'm talking about Cave Story 3D, I think I should go ahead and see if I can actually find this game with a case. And I'm pretty sure eBay and Amazon probably skyrocket the price on this game. So, maybe I might just hit up Etsy and just purchase a case for it and call it a day. but I'm pretty sure the original Historia 3D game comes with a manual. So I'm gonna go on YouTube and look the game up and see if it comes with a manual, and if it's worth it, then I might as well go ahead and pay the extra couple of bucks for the full game. Or if it's not worth it, I'll just go ahead and Etsy and buy a case for it. Now all these loose games are games I got from GameStop over the years. Got lucky, came across them, and all these games right here I actually want to go on Etsy.com and buy a cartridge case. Buy a case for all these games right here, and I'm cool with that. Alright guys, thanks for rocking with me. This video actually turned out to be longer than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found my library pretty attractive, and you came across some games in my library that you like. I hope you guys like my Jamaican accent. I really don't even like talking like that, but whatever. And also too guys, man, please let me know in the recommendations any games that I need to check out. So what did you guys think about my Nintendo 3DS and DS collection? Hope you guys liked it. That's all the games that I have for my Nintendo DS and 3DS. I'm gonna just say Nintendo 3DS because the DS games obviously can be played on a Nintendo 3DS. You guys have a good one. Love y'all. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Red Crimson 102 out.